there was another Indian guy there, and I'm like, oh, it must be my cousin or something. And then I know it's like real basic stuff, but then they would like lose it. They wouldn't even push the button, bro. They just yell, "Oi, bust!" I swear to God. These kids.
Welcome back to Critical Banter. My God, do we have an episode this week for you guys? We have two classic segments. We have Bullslut, the game, and we also have Sydney Pet Peeves. But before that, to wrap the week, we've got me, Miguel. We have Kush.
Yes, sir.
And to intro our special guest today, we have Senny.
Yes, boys. Massive guest today. Return guest. We don't get many of these guys.
I wonder why.
We often have a guest and we'll never see them again. But we had this guest on 2 years ago on Zoom. And so now we are very, very pleased to have him here in person. Please welcome Mr. Neel Kolhatkar.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Neel, you came onto the podcast 2 years ago and we never thought, like many of our other guests, we thought you'd never come back. So please, thank you for coming back on. How have you been in the last 2 years? What have you been up to?
I've been good, man. Finally got off Zoom and back in real life, and just been gigging, just the usual, man. Just content creation, influencing.
Last year you did a tour of Australia, which is pretty sick. So you hit up pretty much all the main cities and I think Newcastle as well. Any good story? Look, shout out to Newcastle.
That's just that little extra one there.
Why did it need its own
bad, so I had to. I never do Hobart. They're always like, oh, come to Hobart. I'm like, Hobart is a town. Hobart does not deserve city a description.
Well, yeah. So the fourth member of our podcast, Rohit, went to Hobart over the Christmas break and he said it's literally just a bit bigger than a country town. Like all the shops close by 4. Like there's not much doing.
They're like closed on Wednesdays, apparently, he was saying.
They're all inbred. Like there's really not much happening there.
It feels like you're going back to like a shipping village in the 1800s, man. I swear to God. And they've found electricity.
Would you do a show there at some point? I've
done a show there. The thing is with a lot of these places, they've got either a big theater or they've got a bar.
Right.
And I like doing, I'm like a mid-tier C-list celebrity, so I need like a 200-seat kind of small theater. I can't do the 1,000-seat theater because I tried to do that in not Hobart, what's that, Launceston?
Yeah.
I was like, I could sell like 400 tickets in Launceston. Bro, like 40 people came and it was which actually proportionally is better than my Sydney shows if you look at the population.
Population-wise, yeah.
So actually, that's not bad.
The market share.
Yeah. but kind of overestimated my pulling power there. And that's the big reason I don't go to Tasmania that often. It's like, I need a theater that's about medium size.
Yeah, right.
Because otherwise I could go there, I could just do the bar, but then, you hardly make any money. Yeah, it's just all the like economics of it. But Newcastle's great because you just drive there.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Don't need to pay for flights. Don't need to pay for accommodation.
Is there good margins with the tour, or are you losing money on these tours?
No, man. They're usually pretty good. It depends on the theater. It depends on the price of the tickets, all of that sort of stuff. So usually comedians are pretty good compared to bands and musicians, because bands obviously got multiple people. You got to usually lug around a lot of equipment and things like that. And comedians is just the one person and maybe a manager.
Yeah.
But I'm so cheap. Like when I had a manager, after a while I was like, can you just not come?
You're doubling the cost, brother, please.
Literally. It was like, why do I need to pay for your airfare and accommodation?
To sit at the back.
A couple of $100. So then I was doing these tours and, usually you go to see someone live and then afterwards, if you get photos or something like that, they'll have someone there helping out with the merch or just kind of like.
Yeah, right.
And it was just me, bro. It was just like.
One manning it.
Yeah. Which was like, that's cool. But I'm too cheap. So, the margins are usually, I make them good. No, it really depends on like how much you can sell your tickets for. So when Seinfeld, he's like the daddy of stand-up. He comes here, he does like the entertainment center and stuff. The cheapest ticket was $230, bro. And so there's no, when Taylor Swift comes, the cheapest would probably, I don't know. I don't look at the different tiers of Taylor Swift tickets, but I'd assume the cheapest would also be maybe in the 200s. But she's got backup dancers. She'd have a band. She'd have probably a whole private jet worth of people. So then there's just more costs. Whereas Seinfeld, it's just him. it's maybe there's like one or two openers or whatever. So that guy, there's a reason he's a billionaire.
Dude, comedy is actually kind of expensive to go watch. Like even I went to go see Andrew Schultz and we got the mid-tier tickets and they were like 120, 130 bucks each, which is like, I was happy to pay it. I love him, but it's like to go out for a night of comedy, it is pretty expensive.
Yeah. I mean, if they're the big kind of worldwide famous acts, they'll just put their prices up because they know
People are
they'll
still
sell.
going to come.
You can get, you know, if you're on a budget, there's good comedy rooms around Sydney, like the clubs usually in every city. The Comedy Store in Sydney, Comics Lounge in Melbourne. There'll be a comedy club in every city that usually tickets will be anywhere between 30 to 50. So it's a bit more cost effective that way. You get like a collection of different comics. But yeah, if you see your Schultzes or Seinfelds or Chris Rocks and that, they're going to be it's actually cheaper than what I would have thought. He would have gone like 200 or something.
I think if you want to sit right at the front, it was like 200, 250 or something like that.
That's weird. Like, I don't get that.
It's
I mean, I would sell it if people would do it, but I'm like, what, bro? They're just the jokes. Like, why do you need to be?
Well, with him especially because he like talks to the crowd a bit and like he'll show up in his clips and stuff. Because I know friends who actually did pay for the front row of Andrew Schultz, and so if you saw the clips from his Sydney show, you can actually see them right at the front.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess then, yeah, that's
that 1 second on TikTok.
Yeah.
There we go.
Where was your best show, you reckon, on your tour?
Always Sydney, man. Like I just a few little references that Sydney siders get a bit more. I mean, it's not like I go to other cities and do jokes about Bankstown or whatever, but they don't get ethnic humor doesn't always translate that well in other cities.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you can go like Melbourne usually it does, but if I go to Brisbane or Perth, I'll be like, hey, these like wogs or these lebs said this, and they kind of get it, but they're just basing it off Superwog, I think. But I don't think they have the kind of specific ethnic stereotypes that they're exposed to in the same way we are in Sydney. So that's my theory, or maybe I'm just shit, but like, I don't know. So yeah, I always got to go. Sydney's always the best. The one I filmed it. That'll come out sometime this year.
Cool.
It's called Villain Era. And just putting it on YouTube. And I think it's like the best special I've ever done. So keen to release that. And then all the shows were good. Funnily enough, Canberra was like really good, man.
You chose Canberra over Hobart?
Yeah, of course, man. It's the capital, bro. They got that. I'm
the government money, man.
And so then they're paying it back to me in tickets. That's why.
So really, you're net zero off that.
Yeah, in a way.
Okay. Any other smaller towns? Did you do Wollongong by any chance? Or
no, I didn't. I was thinking about it, but then I'm like, bro, you can just drive to Sydney, man. It's not that far.
But Newcastle gets special treatment.
Yeah, I like Newcastle. They've got a really good club there. So I do the club there. It's good. It's the vibe I really like. Wollongong, it's also just like there's all this admin stuff with the venues and things. So again, there's like a big theater that they have there, or they have a bunch of small bars, and then some of them take too much money and just shit like that. So when you're like I guess mid-level, you got to think about the finances a bit. I'm sure if you're Schultz or whatever, you go there, do the big arena and it's mad. But yeah, I just didn't think Wollongong was worth it. And I might do it next year. I'll see. But yeah, look, I do shit on Tasmania a lot. The shows I've done there were very good. I've done them once and they were great. So I will come back eventually.
All right, you heard it here. 2024, you're going to go to Tasmania,
and I'll do all the little ones as well. I'll do Devonport, Burnie.
I don't have that knowledge.
I only know Burnie because one of my mates is going on a cruise that goes to Burnie and comes back for like 4 days. I'm like, what the fuck do you do in Burnie? He's like, nothing. You just sit in the boat. That's
all you do. I don't know what you even do in Tasmania, man.
That's true. Well, apparently it's, there's some nice like nature and stuff like that, but not for me. You said you filmed your special.
Mm-hmm.
How's the logistics of that? Like in terms of like getting the cameras, the lighting, sound, like was that all you? You just figured that out yourself?
Yeah, I did it a bit more independently this year. So usually you get there's like media companies that'll film stand up and things like that. Okay. But I got my a mate of mine who he does a lot of music videos and I know he does all like 1-4's music videos and stuff like that. So
that's sick.
Yeah.
Wait, have you met 1-4?
I haven't met them. He has. And no, maybe I will one day. We'll see.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, he does all their music videos. So he's really good with just like the making things fucking look amazing. And he did it. It looks so good. And Aaron Bull, if you want to check him out on Instagram,
Shout
So
out.
he filmed all that. So he sort of took care of all that. And it was a smaller size production, 4 cameras.
That's small. 4 cameras sounds like heaps.
Oh, well, for stand-up, some stand-ups go way too over the top. Like these people on Netflix bring a fucking crane in.
Oh,
I've seen
really?
some ones with like drone shots and stuff.
Yeah, they do a crane.
What, of a comedy show?
Bro,
Yeah.
you're just talking like, what do you need this crane for, man? Yeah, they go,
Wait,
they'll literally spend $100,000 on the product. I bet you, and Schultz is the sort of guy who does it. He loves that sort of big productions and stuff. But I'm just like, what's the point of this, man? Like, you
that's
just
insane.
don't get me wrong. If you're making an action movie or something, obviously you do all of that. But
A
like,
Bollywood movie.
you know, they'll be walking in. There's a fucking crane shot of them, and then the shot from behind, and dude, like, yeah, this is more elaborate than Bollywood, and you just tell the jokes. Like, what are you doing? But hey, man, like, I guess if you want that, go for it. And
Dude,
they'll
that's
use the
insane.
shot like twice. If you watch Netflix specials, you'll be able to tell when it's a crane shot. If it's sort of high up and looking down on them and moving a little bit, it's probably an actual crane that they've brought in.
That's
A
mad.
filming crane type, but not like a fucking but like they've brought a literal crane in to film someone talking.
Yeah, I've seen one where it's like a bird's eye angle and you can only see hair. That's it. And he's making a joke. And
How is
it's
that-
just hair.
It's so over the top. I think maybe with those ones, right, what happens is like if you cut a joke out or if you have to cut something out, they might go to the back.
Yeah.
So that way, because what will happen is like you're walking on one side of the stage, you're saying something with the microphone in your left hand, and then you want to cut out a minute, but then by then you're on the right side of the stage with the
It's
microphone
jarring.
in your right hand. So then sometimes they'll just cut to the audience. Or they'll cut to just, the back. I've seen that one. The back of like just I've been squatting, bro. Like check out the gains. But yeah, stand-up productions are very interesting because they put so much effort into what is essentially someone just talking on stage.
Yeah.
And I get it. You want it to look good, but some of it is so excessive.
And also with all those camera shots, how long does it take to edit one of those things? That'd be a nightmare.
Yeah.
It takes a while, yeah, especially if there's like 8 to 10 cameras and you're cutting between this and that, and then you want to use every camera just because.
You have to justify it.
Pretty much, man. Like that's probably why they cut to the back of the head. They fucking spent
They edited the whole thing.
so much money on this, and we got to show the back of his head like one. Russell Peters has done that a few times. If you watch some of his stuff, because his stuff is usually in a big arena, and then because like I notice all this stuff, and there'll be random shots to the back of him, and I'm like, oh, you cut something out, bro.
So
You
that's a
some-
telltale sign. Is
I
it?
reckon you did. Yeah, you did some crowd work that maybe didn't go that well.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think, but I don't know.
And I know
Could be
often
wrong.
with the stand-ups, they'll film 2 or 3 of the show and then they'll like splice it all together. Because I've seen with Dave Chappelle, like one of us, he'll be talking and then like they'll cut to the audience and then the next joke, the audience is completely different. Like the first row,
Yeah,
it's like new people. I'm like, dude, so you're watching 3 hours of the same thing and finding out when to cut in what, and it's insane.
Highlights, bro. I'm watching highlights of his tour.
this is actually what it is. Yeah, I mean, Chris Rock did one in ages ago where he cut between London, New York, and Johannesburg in South Africa.
And wait, did you know that?
Yeah,
Or did you have to-
that was
okay,
part of
right.
the artistic thing. So it wasn't like the Dave Chappelle one where it's just like, oh, here's a random different audience.
yeah.
But I think what they do is they'll film it 3 or 4 times and then, okay, which one does the joke land the best? We'll just
Yeah.
use that. And I'll wear the same thing or whatever. And, I've done it. I've done one where I filmed 2. But most of them, like I don't have the demand to fill out 2 theaters. So
Yeah,
I'm like, I gotta get this right.
Or you
the
could
one time.
CGI a crowd in or something.
I
Get
could,
some
no,
new
what I do. This is actually so funny. I before the show, I'm like to the camera people, can you just film me? I'm just doing a rehearsal, but I'm going to pretend like it's full. And so I'm sitting there performing with massive pauses, being like, all right, that's where the laugh is. So then, if we need to, we
You can
cut
just-
to that, and we didn't need
Oh.
to this time. But last year, I did one actually at Newcastle. And I just forgot like 1 or 2 lines or something in the show. And so then I cut back to this is a bit sneaky, but yeah, you cut back to the rehearsal and then just add some fake laughs in.
that's
So like
mad.
it's a bit, I don't like to add fake laughs in usually.
Yeah.
Just in that situation, I did, because they laughed at, well, I forgot those lines, but like when I do them,
Normally
there were
they
always
laughs.
laughs. All right. But yeah, there's a lot of just like tricks of the trade and little things
that-
you do when you
That technique's
Yeah.
like the green screen of comedy, basically. What you're saying, you do the rehearsal and then
pretty much,
Yeah.
man. They do that a lot now. Like the recent Ricky Gervais one, that sounded like that didn't. I wouldn't be surprised if they just put in the laughs there.
Yeah,
Was it that bad or?
Oh, it wasn't that it was bad. It was just they didn't sound authentic. Like usually, if you're watching a special and like every laugh is a massive 10 out of 10, you're like, oh, that's not real laughs.
Legit, yeah.
Mm.
Usually in a show, you're getting like a medium
Lulls,
laugh, a small
yeah.
laugh. Maybe they don't laugh at one thing, then
Yeah.
they're getting a big laugh.
Yeah.
So if it's all just bangers back to front, then you're like, all right,
Looks a bit
something.
sus.
Yeah, most likely you've just added some fake laughs in here.
So you only filmed yours once last year.
Yeah.
Does that put a bit of pressure? Like knowing that, like I can't fuck
This is
up.
it.
This is
Oh
it.
the
yeah,
one.
dude, I was shitting myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, clutch.
There you go.
Came in clutch.
Because we're floating a live show,
Yeah.
but
true.
we have only done stuff in a room, controlled room with cameras.
In a
We can
vacuum.
we can cut at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
different.
we are scared.
Do you get worried if people yell out as well? Like if that kills your rhythm, or if it's going to get caught in the recording?
I mean, that's never real. Usually, if people yell something, it's a moment to kind of shut them down, and it's funny because you got the power as the
Yeah.
person on stage. If you're doing badly and someone yells and it's like, "Oh, you're shit," that's when it's bad. But that's happened once, and I was doing a show in like Scotland or whatever, and
Oh,
I think
wow.
they actually just didn't understand my accent
Oh.
because I couldn't understand them. And then the guy heckled me and he said something in such a heavy Scottish accent. The whole crowd laughed.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I didn't even understand what he was like, oh, sorry, it's all the way those and I'm like, what did you say? It was obviously funny. But usually heckling, it's not, people think, oh, how do you do it? It's a common thing. Well, how do you deal with hecklers? How do you deal with hecklers? It's very rare. And usually it's some really drunk person. And you can just tell them to shut up, and the whole crowd's on. If the crowd's on your side,
It's easy.
it's relatively easy. Yeah.
Speaking of bombing, Miguel, I know this is close to your heart, but during the week, Jo Koy hosted the
Oh.
Golden Globes.
My
And I know he's
Filipino
one of your-
brother.
He's one of
Yeah.
your favorites. What did you think of his performance?
I get secondhand embarrassment very easily.
Yeah.
So I heard through the grapevine what happened, and I watched one of the jokes and I just couldn't handle it because it's just not funny. Like his Barbie joke and his, what was the other one?
The
The Taylor Swift NFL one. I just don't know what went through his head to be like, I'm going to say this to a crowd.
But so the whole story was he took it with 10 days notice. So it was, again, very, very short notice. And then the problem was halfway through when he was bombing, he threw the writers under the bus, which I know annoyed most people. Like, whatever, you can bomb. But he was like, people saying, oh, you're laughing at like all the jokes that are the ones I wrote, but all the shit ones are the writers who wrote it for me. So Neel, from your point of view, have you ever taken up like a gig like at a very last moment like that? Or do you try and like at least get decent amount of time before it to prepare properly?
That's a hard one because it's the Golden Globes. You'd maybe take it, but yeah, that was pretty embarrassing, man. That was bad for just stand up in general
Oh,
because
really?
already there's this attitude of like, oh, he's just a man with a microphone. What's he gonna say?
Yeah.
Something sexist. And then he said like some, like you said, what was the joke?
It was something
Oh,
about the
Barbie
Barbie,
has
yeah.
big tits.
Yeah.
Bro, where's the joke?
Where's the joke?
what are you
That's the
saying?
thing.
Like,
There's no joke.
There
It's
was,
just-
Yeah.
there was nothing funny about that. So I like him as well. He's funny, man, but that was bad.
So you went and saw him last year. And I know you've been trying to get me to watch him for a while now. And you said that was the best show you've ever seen.
Besides Neil's when we went.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. No, so like I went to the show with my partner, and my partner, she was saying like, yeah, Jo Koy has this bit of immature streak about him. Like, typical like dick jokes and whatever. But he loves them, right? So it wasn't surprising that he had this sort of joke, but I just didn't expect it to be, as Neil said, like no joke. Like there was
Yeah,
no
right.
joke in it.
Yeah.
If it was about Barbie and being about women, whatever, but there was a joke in it, fair enough. Maybe it's a good joke, maybe it's a bad joke. But come on, man, where's the joke?
But yeah, man, it was just bad because that kind of affects all of us. Because then everyone already has this kind of attitude of like, oh, fucking comedians are shit these days or whatever.
Yeah.
And then here's his opportunity to show, hey, look, I can make jokes about a culturally significant movie like Barbie, but make it so that women also find it funny.
Exactly.
And then he didn't. And he said, bro, I couldn't even believe how do you, like what? But a movie about a girl with big tits got more views than Oppenheimer. That was
That was the crux
What's
of
the
the
joke,
yeah.
man? Like, what are you trying to say? I don't.
Do you get many gigs like that? Like any kind of corporates or like award shows or anything like that? Or do you try not to take those?
I do a few corporates. Yeah,
Is it similar vibe? Like very just uptight people and you're just there trying your best?
it can be. Yeah, they usually don't check your jokes beforehand and things like that.
Oh, they don't
So
vet anything.
They'll say, don't. Maybe they'll say don't swear or don't do this
Okay,
or that. But usually, it's funnily enough, they'll say all of that before, but then during the night, it's usually a corporate event where they're all drinking and then the comedian comes on a bit later and by then they're half drunk and they don't really care.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of get away with a bit more, but they're also sometimes the worst audiences. Like they'll be talking amongst themselves.
Right.
You don't know what you're going to get and they don't have any idea about logistics. So I did one last year, which it went really well, but basically they're just like, yeah, we want a comedian. They booked out, it looked like a school hall. So they had these tables of people, they were big circular tables. So a lot of people were not facing the stage or facing each other, talking amongst themselves.
Yeah.
The stage is like meters away from everyone, which is always hard when you're, imagine if you're performing, but like the first 5 rows are empty. So there's this distance.
Yeah.
And so then there's all these serious awards like best employee and, all these random things that whatever they were. And then after that, there was a magician. And then they're like, oh, now time for the comedy. Oh, but like, how do I do this? And so then I got off the stage and just started talking to them at the tables.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And kind of roasting them a little bit. They were all truckies. So they were all like big dudes with mullets.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of making fun of that a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was good. They definitely weren't PC. So that was.
Yeah, that would have helped.
That was good.
You can just say whatever you want, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But they were laughing at some real simple, like weird shit as well.
Oh, okay.
I'd just say stuff like, there was another Indian guy there, and I'm like, oh, it must be my cousin or something. And then I know it's like real basic stuff, but then they would like lose it.
Oh.
And they think it was the funniest thing they've ever heard. They're like, ah, and they're clapping and shit. I'm like, all right, man, come on, like that's. That was just I was trying to riff about because there was a guy there with like the big handlebar mustache and he was sitting next to the Indian guy. So I was like, oh, it's Merv Hughes and Sachin Tendulkar. And then but they laughed more when I was like, he's my cousin or whatever.
God.
And it was just like, because it's dumb or whatever. But I throw a few of those in for Brown, but also then other stuff like that. I'll make like Aussie jokes if it's an international audience and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just interesting what parts of a joke people will laugh at sometimes.
Yeah.
Because the setup, sometimes people will just lose it at the setup of the joke.
Really?
Yeah, like because you'll say, I don't understand what goes through people's heads sometimes. Like you'll say a word and they'll laugh.
It's like someone laughing at like the knock knock part of a knock knock joke, like not even waiting for the punchline.
Literally, yeah. You'll say, like I did the joke about my girlfriend's Greek. And so everyone's like, oh, you guys should have kids. They'll be so cultured, half Indian, half Greek. And I'm like, no, they won't. They'll just be fat. All right. They're just one Greek grandmother, one Indian grandmother. That's not culture. That's diabetes at 18. But like I'll say my girlfriend's Greek and people will start laughing.
That's it.
I'm like, what are you laughing at, man? Like, just I don't know if it's the anticipation. Like, oh, he's gonna make a race joke.
The idea that you have a girlfriend, I think, is just
that's yeah. Fair enough.
There's no need for that. All right. I think we should probably move on to the game. Alrighty, our game, as per usual with a guest, is Bullslut. Just so you can get an idea, Neel, we'll do a practice round between Kush and Manny, just so you can see how it works. So, boys, your category is things you might go viral for.
Okay. Migs, you want to give us a number first?
This is so vague. Go viral for anything these days.
Exactly. So that's why name it and I'll say whether or not you can. I'll be the judge of this.
8,
I'll go 10.
12.
Go 14.
Bullslut.
Okay.
Dude, you are an absolute.
So you can
fan of
name.
this.
You think you can name 14 things you can go viral for? 30
Yes.
seconds.
I just got to look back at the 14 TikTok videos I saw on my For You page, and then there you go, whatever they are.
It's not a bad idea. All right, Kush, you have 30 seconds to name 14 things you can go viral for. Your time starts now.
Okay. Dancing, skits, comedy, bombing at the Golden Globes if you're Jo Koy, Ooh.
You have 4.
Mukbang. Sports. I'm kind
6.
of losing it here now.
You got 12 seconds.
Oh, things you can go viral for. No. Impersonations.
7.
Did I always say dancing? I always say dancing.
already said
didn't I?
dancing. Right, your time's
Podcast. Oh, dude,
So-
that is I lost that.
That was
quickly.
a tough one. That was a tough one. But to say 14 was outrageous from me.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, you don't ever want to do that, Neil. go
right.
straight out.
All right. So you get the idea, Neil?
Yes.
All right. So first up, you'll take on Miguel, someone who's a bit better at this game. No.
I mean, that's pressure in and of itself, man.
All right. So your category is reasons to call 000.
There's only 3, right?
All right.
No, there could be, you can call 000 for a whole number of reasons.
Let's go with 8.
Jesus.
That's fair. 10.
Bullslut.
All right. Miguel, 10 reasons to call 000
Shit.
in 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
Heart attack.
Okay.
Car accident.
Yep.
Fire.
Yep.
Cat stuck in a tree.
Yes.
Good one. Break and enter.
5,
Assault.
6, yeah, 15 seconds.
Damn. I'm gonna get this out.
You're 4. Come on.
Sexual assault.
Sure.
There you go.
3 more. You have 7 seconds.
Fuck. Cardiac arrest.
That's the same as heart attack.
Shit. Drowning.
Drowning. No,
Okay.
time's up.
Oh.
So you got to 7 or 8 there. That's not bad. You started well.
I ran out of crimes to mention.
Yeah, you started so strongly there.
Yeah, I thought you got it as well.
Yeah, and then Neil's like, you'll get it easily. That's gone in my head, man.
It's tactics.
Damn.
Mate, you can call 000 for anything. Remember our friend, so the guest that we had last week, Rohan, used to call 000 on people who just looked weird in his street. Yeah.
What, as in looked ugly or just
That as well, but
He was sitting on his.
imagine that.
So when he lived in like Darling or
Darlinghurst,
something, he
yeah.
would sit on his balcony.
and just look out.
And then if someone looked a little drunk or whatever,
sus.
000,
Just call 000.
get him out of my street.
Wow. Did they do it? Did they get
Yeah. Dude,
Oh,
modern day
wow.
Batman. They would just come. Apparently the police station was nearby, so they would just
They're
come
just
within
bored.
30 seconds and just take him to the cop
I think
shop.
after a while they're
Wow.
like, oh, not this guy again.
Yeah.
Like we're not coming to get this guy off the street.
All right. So Neil, you'll get the point there. Next category, so it'll be with you and Kush, is sci-fi movies.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Neil, do you want to get a starter number first?
6.
I'll go 10.
How's your sci-fi knowledge, Neil?
That's not. I'm Bullslut. I don't think
Bullslut?
I can
Okay.
beat
10.
10.
All right, Kush.
All right.
Please, for the love of God. 10 sci-fi movies in 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
Blade Runner 2049. Arrival. Star Wars Episode 1. Star
No,
Wars.
that's one. That's one. That's one.
only
Star Trek.
That's
Dune.
5, 6,
The original Dune 2001 A Space Odyssey.
7, 15 seconds to go.
Oh, hello. Okay. Why am I thinking The Fault in Our Stars? For some reason, okay, that's not one.
7 seconds.
That
Oh,
teenage
geez.
drama.
3, mate.
3. Okay.
2 seconds.
Marvel's not sci-fi, so
Oh,
no.
my God. How
Oh,
have you fucked this up?
I don't know. I thought-
You're the movie guy, Kush.
Yeah, no, I lost them.
Dude.
To be
Come
fair,
on.
no one really makes sci-fi anymore these days, I feel like.
Could have gone Matrix.
It's all the series, man. I wanted to go down the Star Wars
Nah,
route.
you
There was like
wouldn't
9 there I
have.
could
I'm
name.
just- yeah, that's 10 done right there.
Yeah.
All right. So, Neil, you've gone 2 without even having to play this.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go back to you and Miguel, and your category is websites.
What's
Brother.
Any website.
Any website.
I want to hear like 20. Surely you can name them.
Fucking 15.
All right. Go. 15.
That's
16.
18. Websites, bro.
Websites.
Yeah, 20.
Bullslut.
All right.
Oh,
Here we
wait,
go.
all right.
Finally.
This feels tough, man. Websites, huh?
All
So
right.
I'm just going to go like bigstores.com.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh, that's smart. All right. Neil, you have 30 seconds to name 20 websites. Your time starts now.
Woolworths.com, Target.com, Coles.com, BunningsWarehouse.com, McDonald's.com, KFC.com, RedRooster.com, DonutKing.com,
Nine.
KrispyKremes.com, GuzmanGomez.com, AustralianGovernment.com, ATO.gov.au, fucking Road.com, Apple.com, Manscaped.com,
16.
fucking MrPotatoHead.com, bracelets, cottonon.com.
So your time's up. I think you probably got there. I think you were on 18. last
18,
time I checked.
yeah.
And then you said bracelets.com.
Bracelets.com. Why'd I say that? That's probably a website though.
It probably
Let me
Can you
check
Google
it.
bracelets?
honestly, anything you say is probably a website.
Actually, you did say Critical Banter, which is we do have a website.
Do we have a website?
Yeah,
oh
the
shit!
podcast-
Okay.
there we go.
How do you not know we have a
I
website?
don't know we had a
bro?
website.
All right, so if bracelets.com exists, you got 20.
I got to a point where I was just looking at anything.
Someone looking around.
I don't-
Also check MrPotatohead.com. I reckon there
I
is
don't think- I
one.
might not have it.
Fuck me, bracelets.com is real.
Yes.
All right, so you got 20.
Yes.
All right, you got 3. We're going to do 5 rounds. So you basically won already, but we'll do 2 more just for fun.
Gee, this is embarrassing for us, Migs. Damn.
All right. Kush and Neel.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, easy one. Your category is weapons / things you can use as a weapon.
Things you can use as a weapon. Okay.
Or you can name actual weapons as well.
All right. I'll pop out a number first. I'll go 8.
I think I'm at 10.
I think I can go 12.
You included things you can use as a weapon.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
it's opened up.
That's why I made it
Yeah.
a bit more broader.
Bullslut.
Okay. All right.
Push.
Yeah, that was,
Bit
that
of
was good from
respect
you.
12 weapons or 12 things you can use as a weapon in 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
Okay. Knife.
Yeah.
Firearm.
Yeah.
Hammer. Fork.
Yeah.
John Wick's pencil. Yeah. Okay. Weapons.
You're on 5, Kush.
Okay. Sword, spear,
Okay.
shield. God, what do the Romans
You
use
have 10
back then?
seconds left. Just need 4 more.
Tank. Airstrike.
Are we going to allow an extra? 4
Well, the
seconds.
US military allows it.
2 more to go.
A nuclear weapon, whatever.
Your time's
I'll put
up.
Okay.
I knew you were fucked when you said fork at number 4. I'm like,
You
brother,
could have named guns,
If
bro.
you just named the guns from
I
Call of
said
Duty, I would have
firearms.
yeah, that's on you, man.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go like M16, fucking Uzi.
All right. Neil has gone 4 points out of
Oh,
5.
dear.
Last
killing
round,
this,
Migs,
bro.
just get us some respect here, please. We can't be clean sheeted in our own game, in your own house. All right. So, Miguel, Neil, your last category is things you can buy at Bunnings.
8,
10,
11.
12.
You know what? Bullslut.
All right.
I don't do anything.
I was at
above
Bunnings
12,
recently.
Except if they're websites. Then I can do 20.
Bunningswarehouse.com. Is that one thing I can find?
All right, Miguel, 12 things you can buy from Bunnings in 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
Wood.
Yeah.
Steel.
Yeah.
Gas.
Yes.
Yes. Nail. Glue.
Yeah.
Hammer. Screwdriver.
7,
Drill.
8,
Paint.
9,
Faucet.
10.
2
2 more. 15 seconds to go.
Screwdriver.
Yes.
Hard hat.
12.
I think
Bang.
you named screwdriver twice.
Fucking
Name one more.
name
One
one
more.
more.
Swimming inflatables.
Done. Can you get swimming inflatables?
Yeah,
from
man. You walk in, they're on special right at the front, mate. Before you go up the escalator. Come on, man.
All right.
How do you
fair
not
play.
know?
That was
All
good.
right.
That was good.
So we get 1 on the board.
Yes.
But otherwise, Neil, you win this quite comfortably. 4-1.
I only did one naming of thing.
Neil, that's how I normally win.
We are trash
I let
at this
these
game.
guys play and they fuck it up.
I nailed those websites. Man.
That was quality.
MrPotatohead.com.
The fact that you kept saying .com as well, like I'm sure Sen would have paid it if you just went
Yeah, you just
KFC,
said the name of
McDonald's.
Fellas, this week's episode is once again sponsored by our good friends over at Manscaped. 2024, let's be in the new year with confidence thanks to Manscaped, where resolutions are met and hairs are neatly kept. As the new year is here, why not make self-improvement a breeze by keeping your body well groomed? And how do you do that? With Manscaped's Performance Package 5.0 Ultra Kush, the ultimate all-inclusive kit designed to help you feel clean-cut and confident as you should. Featuring the powerhouse Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This next-gen trimmer ensures precision and ease when tackling your toughest hairs. Kushy, we've gotten the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra.
Yep.
Thoughts? I love it.
Just sublime is all I can say. Really, it's perfection. It's perfection. I've used it on my balls, and it's beautiful. I don't think I've ever felt something so smooth across that skin, man.
You know what I love about the new lawnmower?
Mm.
Has 2 blade heads.
Yeah.
A foil one and your standard trimmer.
Yeah.
So you can get right down and get all the hairs.
It's versatile, man. It's so versatile.
Absolutely. And on top of that, in the bundle, you get obviously the Lawnmower 5.0. You get the Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer. You get the essential aftercare products like Crop Soother Ball Aftershave, crop preserver anti-chafing ball deodorant, and 2 DOS free gifts. Did we mention that it's waterproof? I don't think we have, but waterproof. The 2 free gifts, you get the Boxes 2.0 and the Shed 2.0 toiletry bag. So most of the products revamped, new and improved. And Kush, my friends, the people at home are sold. What should they do?
Easy. You just hop on manscaped.com. You add your products to your cart. Now, here's the thing that everyone forgets. There is a little section where you can add a code in. Add 3 letters. TCB. Once you get that, you will get 20% off and free shipping.
Wow.
And then guess what? Purchase the product, guys. Support the people that support us.
Exactly. So start the new year right, because when you look good, you feel good. Manscaped, helping you sculpt the best version of yourself for the new year.
Righty, here we are. Sydney Pet Peeves. We've been talking about doing this for a while, and we're glad you're here, Neel, to help us vent through some of these. So we also asked you guys, the listeners, to write in with some of your ones. So we'll go through those ones first. We've got about 20 something odd. We'll just quickly rattle through those ones, maybe discuss them as well. First one, confusing parking signs. You've seen the ones where it's like no parking, but then it's like the one below it says like parking between 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday to Friday, but then Saturday it's 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. you're allowed to, and there's like no loading or whatever.
Yeah, we went into the city like last month or 2 months ago, maybe a year ago, I don't know. Anyways, you found a spot to park, and I had to stand there for like 2 minutes to understand this sign, whether you could park or not. Because you're right, it said Monday to Friday, Saturday to Sunday, public holiday, vehicles over 6 meters, like then no stopping. Like, what?
Dude,
we could park.
You need like a PhD to freaking like decipher these parking signs.
There's people at the council that are just competing with each other to try to get as many signs up there as possible.
Dude, there was one where we parked, it was like near a stadium, and then we found it said, it was like on a weekend, so it said like 4p or 5p. So we parked there, and then we came back and we had a ticket, and it turns out during game days, you're not allowed to park there, but there's no sign for it. You're meant to just know it based on like the council like rules that they have. $500.
I swear they're just making shit up. At that point. It's up to interpretation.
Yeah.
It's like those really confusing tax laws where it's like, oh, it's just up to a certain point. You can just interpret it how you want.
Just vibe it out.
Have you seen those ones where it's like probably like, let's say 15-minute parking, but it says except for like Monday to Sunday, 4 to 9 p.m. or some shit. Have you seen those ones?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Dude, my favorite one is like, I found a cool trick that usually schools have a no parking outside them, but they're only no parking from Monday to Friday. So usually if you go on a weekend, you can actually park in front of a school. So there's a few in the city, like in Darlinghurst, where you can park the entire day on a weekend.
Ah, smart.
Yeah.
Parking outside school setting.
Well, when I'm allowed to be near them, yes.
They look at your GPS history. Whoa, this guy goes to a lot of schools.
Yeah, your Google Maps is fucking wild, bro.
Please stop painting me in this light. All right. We've got a few car-related ones. So the next one is people not waving you when you let them into traffic. This is one of my all-time, mate. It's just a bit of respect. If you indicate and I let you in, just a quick little, one of these ones, Heil Hitler's into the rearview mirror. That's all I ask.
I feel like it's dwindling these days.
Dude,
I don't see it as much.
I always do it, but no one ever does it whenever I let them in.
Yeah.
I even go out of my way. I'll put the window down. I'll put my hand out the window.
Okay, Jesus.
You do it out the window.
I'll do it out the window.
Damn.
You may as well just roll up and start knocking on their window as well, man. Come on, give me a wave.
I'm just a good Samaritan.
Going off that though, you know what I've noticed a lot of people do these days? So when they're trying to signal and like merge in, instead of like waiting for a gap, they put their hand out and tell you to wait. Have you seen that?
No, I've never seen that.
Like just say you're merging on the driver's side and they indicate when they full put their hand out the window and just start merging.
I've only seen cyclists do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like how cyclists do it.
Yeah.
Do this.
This
Dude,
guy's
that's
rolled
wild.
down his window.
It's only fucking utes, bro. What am I going to do with my little Honda Civic, man? Total myself?
I'm such a man. I need to be the fucking indicator myself. Showing off the guns, actually.
It's really tense, that forearm.
On that note, Hiluxes that speed up your ass with their bright LED lights.
Yeah. I've had one or two of them. They're fucking,
Dude,
yeah.
how are they not illegal? Like that's like the lights, especially at night, like those lights are so bright, you can't see out the back of your rearview mirror. Like it's dead set, like just like you're going into heaven or some shit. Just that's how bright the lights are.
It's also intimidating, man. It's like fucking Optimus Prime's coming right behind you with that you just struck, dude.
Because I drive a small car as well. So like when it's like, yeah, it is these massive trucks coming right behind you. It is quite intimidating.
I have not road rage, but road rage. So when people have road rage, it makes me mad. Because it's like, bro, like I'll be doing it 60 and it's just 2 lanes. So there's just the 1 lane. They can't overtake me. And then someone will come right up behind me. I'm probably doing like 58 or some shit. Fucking beeping. He fucking overtakes me even though there's just the 1 lane. Fucking speed up, cunt. And just keeps going. I'm like, what is wrong with this guy, bro? Like, wow.
He knows the difference between 58 and 60. He's like, nah, this guy's done.
This guy. Oh, I got to get to the footy or wherever you are. Fucking happy hour.
Happy hours.
I got to get there. Why are you in such a rush, bro?
Does Sydney have the most aggressive drivers in Australia?
Surely.
In Australia, probably, yeah.
But compared to other parts of the world, we're actually pretty chill. Like I drove a bit in Europe and I saw the Italians are so aggressive. They'll do what you did, but they'll do it at like 200 kilometers an hour. Like you'll be on a highway. I was going like at 160. And people are still overtaking you going at like 180, 200 kilometers an hour.
Wow.
On a 4-lane highway. Brother, just go into the other lanes. Why are you coming that far up
They're
my
like
ass?
5 coffees deep by 10 a.m. They're like, hey, come on, the motherfucker. You got to move.
Dude.
Like, where are they going? They don't work in Italy. So where are they going?
I got to eat my mum's pasta. Get out of the way.
Another place I wouldn't drive is anywhere in Asia.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Dead
India
set.
looks it looks impossible to drive.
Dude, I went to India like in the last year and we had a driver because my dad's like, there's no way in hell I'm driving there. And I'm like, that's fair enough. So we were driving and this guy, there was 4 lanes of actual roads. Yeah. And then there was like a bit of grass on the left, sorry. And so there was 2 lanes within the grass itself. And so we were in one of the grassy lanes and we were trying to cut back in and this guy wouldn't let us in. So my driver stopped the car, put in park, got out and went over to the other guy and started yelling into the guy's window and then went back in and they're like, that's it, just moved on with his day. Like nothing happened. And apparently that's common occurrence in India.
Wow. Yeah, driving in India is like what Bollywood is to Hollywood. They've said, you guys have these rules, we don't. Do whatever the fuck you want.
We'll remake them.
Do whatever you want. Except if the cow's on the road, then everyone stops. Then everyone's very serious. But
stop.
yeah, if there's a human on the road, nah, go for
Fuck
it, bro.
that.
There's too many, bro. What's one?
I still have a core memory as like a kid. Like my uncle's like, all right, we're gonna go to like the time zone of India, and he's like driving on this motorway, and he's like, all right, kids, get ready, and he's just like treating it as a roller coaster, like going lane to lane, and I'm there strapped with my seatbelt, just like shit. Like 11-year-old me just being like, what the fuck is going on?
It's something else, man. That's why Indians have such high blood pressure. It's not the diet, it's just the driving. When you go there as well, and then I think they've got some, because there's so much corruption, because they've had some law where it's like, all right, the taxis need to have a seatbelt. I swear to God, you get in the taxi, they've got the belt and no buckle. You go in there and it's like, they've got they're like, hey, we put the seatbelt in, man. What else do we need to do?
You didn't tell us it needs to actually fit in. Yeah.
All right, next one on the Sydney pet peeve list: shops closing early. So shops close at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
People finish work at 5 p.m.
Dude, it's just an Aussie thing. You go anywhere else in the world, everything's open a bit late, especially in a big city.
Yeah.
It's pretty stupid, hey.
It's pretty backwards. Like in Asia, and I'm sure in parts of Europe, like things are like normal shops are open until like 7, 8, 9 p.m. every day. Like it's like late night shopping every single day there.
I think Australia still thinks everyone's a tradie who like works from 4 till 2. And then
next one, high school students who are very loud on public transport. I don't think that's a Sydney specific thing. I feel like that's everywhere.
It's definitely annoying, but I do have to admit, when I was a teenage boy, you can't help it.
Oh,
You're just full of cum and testosterone.
That's not where I thought that was going.
Probably shouldn't be talking about teenage boys cum, but
Not with Senny
you're
around
just-
as well.
you're just horny and like you got all this energy
You're
and you're
fucking
with the
riled
boys,
up, bro.
Yeah.
and you're like, oh fucking yeah, fucking check out this YouTube video, cunt.
Yeah, everything is so aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I found it. Subscribe to this motherfucker, and you're like, whoa, all
There's
right.
a lot of that, yeah.
We were serial offenders for this as well in high
notorious
school.
for this.
Yeah.
So we took the bus. Our bus in the morning would also go from
So it went from Castle
to
Hill
Hornsby, and a lot of people work in Hornsby. So it's a very busy bus. But we were on the back seat without fail every single day. And it was fucking just loud yelling fucking obscenities.
Yeah.
Probably racism, sexism.
Hey.
It was Rohit, not us. But like, we were just saying all sorts and just being a nuisance. We got called out from the school a couple times.
People would ride into the
we
school.
got reported.
We got reported to school multiple times for like our behavior on the bus.
because I joined their school when I was in year 11. And
Okay.
I had heard of the legend of the M60 boys, apparently, is what they call them.
The M60. Because that actually sounds like a gang. M60 sounds like a gun. I would not fuck with the M60 boys.
And then you actually see us and I'm like, oh, it's these guys.
And you look up at like a
Nerds.
Transdev
Did you
bus.
was it private? Did you have like a preppy school uniform? Or?
It was a public school, but we wore ties and everything.
So like, fuck the M60 boys. This is their route. Don't go near. And then it turns out it's just a bunch of
Curry guys.
Scrawny.
Their bags like way down their back because the textbooks are weighing them down.
We had fucking glasses on and everything.
We at our school, so there was a bunch of different schools that caught this one bus, and we were a selective school, so we got. Dude, the year 11s on our bus got bullied by and because the school opposite us was a sports school, so it was all rugby league players that it literally would bash the principal. I'm not even making that up. There's a story about the principal getting bashed. Like, some giant redhead kid called. And then everyone at the bus was, oh, fuck, did you hear fucking Billy fucking deck the principal out? Like, it was a legend. And then that guy he was a stereotypical American bully. He was actually Nelson Muntz. Like, it was so fucking scary, that guy. But anyway, they'd be on our bus all the time, and we were relatively well behaved, and then they would do the craziest stuff. So one time this is actually bad, but there was the senior citizens bus, and this was on a bridge. Everyone's doing 80. And so they're like showing their dicks and like, just rude fingers and all sorts of stuff. And then they were spitting at the bunch. Just like horrendous stuff. And I swear to God, one of them was like, fuck, I don't have anything to throw, bro. Oh, here, throw my wallet. And like, tell my shit. And then the senior citizen bus parked in front of our bus at the next stop. They all ran off the bus really quickly. This guy was irate, as you would be, just furious because it's dangerous as well. Comes always like, oh, who was that? Who was that? And then they were all like, oh, it was the Carringba kids. And it was not us at all. We were sitting there at the front, but we were too scared to say anything.
So you copped it?
They called our school, yeah.
Shit.
And we had a talking to, and then the teacher eventually realized it wasn't us. But yeah, that was like torture, that bus. It was just, you went to the nerd school all day.
Yeah.
And then you dealt with the footy kids.
The jocks.
Yeah, the jocks.
Yeah, we had a similar story. So we also went selective school, and it was like private schools near us. And one day we got called in assembly, and then the principal to the whole school was like, we've heard the boys on the M60 bus have been pushing pregnant ladies.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So like, obviously it wasn't us, and it got found that it wasn't, us, it was a private school.
Yeah,
but
it was Barker. Fuck you.
fucking
cunts.
Barker. All right. But we had to live with that reputation. Every little thing we do, oh, you're going to push another pregnant lady, huh? So we had to live with that rep, even though we were nowhere
We
near
did
them.
nothing. There was another day as well. We weren't exactly innocent in all this. There was one day, same bus route on the way home. It was like a really hot afternoon. So me, Ro, and Migs had the genius idea of pressing the bus stop at the button at every single stop. So what was normally a half an hour bus trip turned into an hour. And eventually the bus driver got to like Cherrybrook and he stopped the bus. He's like, whoever keeps pressing the bus, get off the bus right now. And then it was just silence for like 5 minutes as we sat there. No one obviously owned up to it. So he gave up. He's like, all right, I'm going to keep driving. And then we just pressed the button straight away.
Oh, bus drivers have patience of steel, man.
yeah.
I could not imagine doing that. We once had, I'd live around the St. George area. So I'd get off at Cogra train station. Yeah, Cogdog or whatever. And then I never actually lived there. But
We've tried not to mention the Cogdog at least once this episode.
I'm in the neighboring suburb. And then, so you get this bus, and there's these kids from Cogra High School, which were just, they wouldn't even push the button, bro. They just yell, "Oi, bus!" I swear to God. These kids with the same mullet would just get off. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. they'd just be sitting there up the back talking, and then there'd be a stop coming up. Rather than press the button, "Wait, boss, stop!"
You're so fucking primal, bro.
Yeah, man.
Such a
Just like that,
behavior.
like that Ute guy. Just, I'm not fucking pressing the button, bro. That's gay. I'm gonna yell it out. Fucking stop.
Oh, man.
Dude, you reckon kids are still like that these days?
I've heard they're worse.
You reckon?
I've heard they're worse. They're on their phones all day and they're vaping, and they just don't have boundaries. But I don't know.
Yeah, we
That
never
could
had
be-
like those, the social media days. We were pretty young to it. I
Yeah,
think.
we were
getting
way
into
before
it.
that time.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I had Facebook and MSN and all that. Like, yeah, I had social media, but not the smartphone.
Yeah.
So I think that
Yeah,
I didn't have a
yeah.
smartphone throughout high school. I just
Yeah.
had like a Nokia brick, whatever.
Yeah.
Towards the end of
I had a
it, yeah.
cover, and then I'd clip it onto my pants
Oh.
because it
you
was
were
like
a
the dad
nerd.
thing. But then I was like, yeah, I owned it, and I didn't even put it in the pocket. I put it so that everyone could see.
Yeah, you got it, man. Flex on him.
3310.
Yeah, one of those. Whatever it was great. It lasted my whole high school.
Jesus.
Played Snake.
Imagine now someone whipping out their iPhone 15 from one of those clip covers. Right with that
Bring the clip back. That would be great.
Dude. All right, next one. Sydney trains not functioning in the rain. The second there's a bit of moisture on the train tracks, that's it. The whole system's down. I actually don't get why that happens.
Yeah, once it happens, like, 50th time, it's like, dude, surely who's learning from this? There's got to be someone out there who's being like, all right, we're not going to repeat the same mistake. And then it just happens again the next day.
But like this, you just know, like as soon as you see it's cloudy,
Yeah.
you're like, all right, this is it. I'm trying, like people at work will see that the rain is coming, like, oh, I'm going to leave a bit early to try and avoid any kind of train cancellations.
Yeah.
Yeah, or else you're at Central for like an hour.
Yeah,
Just like in the fucking musty Central station where everyone's sweat is just coming up because
Oh,
everyone's
yeah.
waiting, dude. Yeah.
And then as a side point to that, someone said being made to tap on for replacement buses.
Oh, true. Yeah, most of the time they don't.
I thought they're free.
Yeah, I
They're
always
free.
thought they were free.
Yeah, I have been on one bus though before who had the machines on, and then like the person in front of me tapped on, and I was like, I'm not going to do it. Like
Nah.
this just feels wrong in every way. Like it's a replacement bus, man.
Yeah, exactly. You should be giving the service for free.
Yeah.
Next one. The digital marketing billboards in the Sydney CBD that cover up half the walkway. It's a very niche one. Have you seen those ones? Where like there's one I know that I walk
Which
from.
the central walkway or
Just any like
I
kind
think
of-
out in like the streets.
yeah, out in the street. So there's one I know
Okay.
on York Street when you're walking down to Barangaroo. There's like a little like pedestrian walkway, but half of it is taken up by a massive billboard. So you have to walk around it, and you have to basically walk onto the street and then walk around and then back onto the pathway.
oh my god,
Yeah,
do those billboards ever work? Like, do they?
they are. Yeah, they're like
do those
digital
companies
ones.
see a boost in sales?
Oh,
because someone's like,
No, I think
Coke.
I got to walk around.
Yeah. This guy heading into like his bank job at 9:30, like, oh yeah, I'll buy that now.
Yeah.
actually, yeah, do any of those kind of billboards work at all?
I have never been influenced by a billboard.
Yeah,
never.
neither.
I can't imagine they do. Like, I mean, it might be the subtle. Just you're constantly bombarded with
Yeah.
McDonald's. Like one day on Friday, you're like, oh, I feel like a Big Mac. I don't know why. Propaganda, I guess.
Next one, no dividers between urinals.
Wait,
So this
The
is a
dividers,
Sydney
the-
specific.
Apparently, it's a thing that happens in Sydney. I swear all the bathrooms I've been to, those
So like the individual urinals, you should have those
the
bars.
little
Ah.
yeah. So they're saying
yeah, it's better to. Otherwise, you get some splashback and shit.
off other people's.
Because sometimes it fucking splashes on your shoes.
Oh, that's
And-
grotty.
Yeah.
I've always been worried about like the person because peripheral vision, just seeing someone who just does a little glance to the left. It's like, dude, your business is right down there. There's no reason to even glance at the left, brother. There's just no reason.
You don't get curious?
Sometimes you can't help it, man. You gotta be like,
The wandering eyes.
The fucking eye of Sauron's on me, man. Looking to the
Covet
left.
thy neighbor's penis. Next one, the tolls being too expensive. I agree with
oh,
this.
100%.
Dude, to get from like the hills to the city and back, it's like $40 return.
Jesus.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Oh my
or you got to
God,
take like Victoria Road and go through like the Roselle interchange, and then that's another 40 minutes.
$40, dude.
It
Dude.
was sobering when they put prices on Google
Scary,
Maps.
bro.
Yeah.
And I saw like, to save 5 minutes this way, I'll spend $20.
Yeah.
No.
What's your threshold? Like, is there a time limit for it to say for you to use tolls?
It all depends on how much it's going to be. So if it's a $5 toll, I'll probably, and it's like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
quicker, yeah, like I'd do that. But when it's $40 to save even 20, 30 minutes, I'm like, that's not worth it.
Oh, I think there are times where you still do it though.
If you're in a rush.
If you're in a rush,
but
yeah.
And the tunnels are like, they're not, you got to fucking you breathe in that gross air and shit. So it's like, dude, Sydney is a scam city. It's Blade Runner. It's the actual Blade Runner, bro. Even the fact all these tunnels just have a letter and a number, that's kind of sinister. Like
Yeah.
the M6 becomes the M2. There's just no character. There's nothing. There's
No personality in our tolls.
Yeah, at least with the Italians taking over you, there's
That's
probably
true.
like a nice
Dude, they have like,
hey, this is
Leonardo
our
da Vinci Highway. Or
Vincenzo
something.
Boulevard.
Yeah, exactly.
And we go however fast we want.
Yeah, over there, honestly, the speed limits are just a suggestion. Really. We've got two quick ones here. People who drive too slow and people who drive too fast. Apparently you can't win here.
Yeah, they're both pretty annoying. Yeah.
We've got slow walkers. I agree with this one.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Slow walkers in a pack, man. When they're horizontally lined up,
and
it's
they've
like,
blocked the-
oh man, have the audacity to at least vertically line yourself up when you're slow.
And they always have AirPods in.
Mm.
Or the ones that, all right, you can be slow, but the ones that are like dawdle and sort of not walk in a straight line.
Yeah, those.
And then they just suddenly stop every now and
That's
then.
the worst one. The
Oh,
ones that
man,
just
God.
stop and they're just like, oh, that's a beautiful bird. It's like, fucking get out of the way, man. Like, honestly, Jesus.
Next up, being patronized too when people find out you're from Western Sydney. This one irks me a bit. Like, oh, how long does it take you to get to the city? Oh, it's so far away, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, mate, I'm only like 30 kilometers away from the city. Let's not pretend like I'm in a whole other state.
I use that to my advantage though, because like at work, I work in the city. People know I live here, 30 kilometers away. I'm like, I can't make it into the office today, mate. I live too far. I'm chilling at home.
smart.
Do they
working
believe
from-
that?
Yeah, they sympathize with me. Oh yeah, it takes you so long to get to the office. Like
$40 tolls.
yeah,
We
dude,
understand.
don't worry about coming to the mandatory days of the office. I'm like, I'd love to be there, but the commute, guys.
They think it's like a different world.
Essentially.
People from the North Shore and the eastern suburbs, they think, first of all, they think Western Sydney is like Newtown. And then they're like, no, actual Western Sydney. They're like, oh, I
Strathfield.
don't know if I go there. Oh.
So you said you're from the Burwood area. Would you consider that to be Western Sydney?
Some people do. So it's like the Mecca of Western Sydney. It's like people come there and they think it's rich. They're like, that's what it feels
People work
like.
their entire lives,
Yeah.
trying to get out of the hood and they make it to Burwood.
Literally, yeah. People from like Campbelltown come there and they're like, oh, wow.
Westfield. We're going off that. We have a mate that lives in Chatswood and he's scared to go to Parramatta.
What do you mean scared?
What are these?
We say, let's get dinner at Parramatta. He's like, I don't know. I've heard things about there. It's a bit dangerous. Come off it, mate.
Damn.
All right. On that note, people from Hornsby claiming to be from the North Shore. Technically, it is the upper North Shore.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah, it's on the North Shore line.
It's on the North Shore line.
Yes.
I feel like this really irks people from the North Shore.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, it's mostly people from the lower North Shore who don't want to be associated with like the Hornsbys, the Warungas, the Waitaras of the world.
To be fair, once you see Hornsby, I
Yeah,
get
it's-
it. No, I don't know if I'd want to be associated with that as well. Hornsby these days as well, man.
Dude, it's
They go,
Hornsby's
to,
pretty
they go to
grim.
Westfield, don't they?
Yeah, but it's full of like 16-year-old eshays and like the trash from Central Coast. No offense to them. but like you have people from like, Erin Affair and shit like that who come down and hang around in Hornsby. It's a pretty grim place.
Yeah, I remember going to Hornsby and then I don't know. There must have been tourists, but they were looking at the fountain out like near the Westfield, and they were like, "This is amazing." This fountain outside of Hornsby, Westfield, and I was like, "Oh boy, you're in the wrong spot, man. You're in the wrong spot."
That's funny. Every time I've gone to Hornsby, I'm like, it's all right.
So how many times have you gone though?
Oh, like twice.
Yeah.
The train, I had to get a train to somewhere, to Newcastle probably. And
yeah.
so, yeah, to be fair, I haven't really gone very often, but
Yeah, I think doctors suggest
alright.
don't spend more than 20 minutes there or else you might catch something. Ozpost opening from 9 to 5 to collect parcels, but everyone works from 9 to 5, so you can't collect the parcels.
Again, that's just these Australian hours. I don't know why they do that.
Have you ever tried to go to Ozpost during the day?
No.
It's fucking lines at the wazoo, man.
Yeah, it's because their drivers don't knock on the doors for their packages, man.
Oh
They
my
just take it
God. Yeah.
back.
They don't even bother knocking. They just leave the slip there. Go. Pick it up
Yeah.
yourself, cunt.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do?
I got to spend like an hour and a half in the line for Ozpost, bro.
I imagine the people in the line are supposed to just old people. Or,
No, it's all demographics.
oh, really?
People like us who've bought stuff online
Oh, yeah.
got given a fucking slip.
Yeah.
That's why I just, like Amazon, they just leave the shit there. Just throw it.
Yeah.
They probably throw it from the van, bro.
They put a little disclaimer on it.
They get fired if they spend more than 2 seconds. The next one in.
Next one, we got too many Irish and British backpackers.
Bro, there's so many. Isn't it funny? 3 brown guys are going to be like, these fucking British. There's too many, but there actually are.
If you go to Bondi, holy shit.
everywhere.
They're everywhere. Oh my God.
Because I feel like they live more out in the eastern suburbs. So I actually don't interact with them that much unless I go to a bar and obviously they're all bartending.
Yeah.
But honestly, day to day, I don't see much. So where are they? What are they doing?
They're all in Bondi. Bondi
They are,
Coogee.
yeah. They're all in the eastern suburbs area, and that's the rental crisis.
Yeah.
It's like fucking Claire from London. I don't want to pay $600 a week for a 1-bedroom. Thank you. It's like that. That's the rental crisis, not the Indians and the Asians who are just studying here.
Yes,
it's the
preach,
British.
brother.
It's
People who get on the bus only to get off 2 stops later.
I mean, I don't know if it's that bad.
That's not that I was gonna say.
I
Like,
don't think
especially
that's-
if the 2 stops are like at least 10 minutes apart. It's a fair walk.
Yeah.
And that's what the bus is there for. How are
I was
you
about to say,
attacking someone
yeah,
for?
the bus is there for that.
Next one. Roads around the airports are confusing.
They are, yeah. They're pretty confusing.
I tried driving there recently and dude, you take the wrong turn and you're going all the way around, like whichever M number it is, and then you have to go all the way back around. It's
You end up in Brighton.
yeah.
You end up,
Yeah.
You can-
End up at Bay Vista. No one wants to go there.
like, oh, I thought I left the Middle East. What's this thing?
Got a few more quick ones. One person just wrote seagulls. Then a few other people wrote seagulls around Darling Harbour, seagulls around Barangaroo, seagulls around Circular Quay. One of them even barked at me.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
Someone wrote in the people who feed the seagulls. I agree with that. Don't fucking feed them, dude. Jesus Christ. Someone wrote in the vegan protesters.
Oh, these are the ones at like town hall?
Yeah.
What did they do this time?
Just their existence.
Are they always just there permanently there?
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, I saw the Holy Trinity once when I went recently. I saw the first ones were the Jesus preachers.
Yep.
Then I saw the Hare Krishna people. And then I saw the Free Julian Assange people. I'm like, fuck this, I'm getting out of here. Like they're all trying to give you some sort of flyer.
It's the Bermuda Triangle, bro. If you walk in the middle, you're not coming out. You're converting to something.
I remember the vegan protesters at UNSW were the worst though. Like they would try and like
Oh yeah, Rohit got done by one of them.
because they bait you in with free cupcakes. Like, oh, watch this video and you get a free cupcake. I'm like, oh, beauty. And then the video you watch is like 20 minutes of just cows getting slaughtered. Like just getting taken into the abattoir and getting like literally minced up. And then they give you the cupcake and it's a vegan cupcake and it tastes like shit. So not only did you waste 20 minutes watching some filth, you can't even enjoy the cupcake that they give you.
Fuck those documentaries, the ones on Netflix. You ever watch those?
No, I stick clear of all of that.
They get really
They're
dramatic.
pretty intense, hey,
Oh,
some of them.
Which
Dude,
one?
they get so dramatic.
Cowspiracy, Forks Over
Sorry,
Night.
what?
There's one called Cowspiracy. It's a funny name when you think
That's a
about
great
it.
name. Any that you recommend?
Probably that one, hey.
Cowspiracy.
I mean, it'll make you vegan if you watch that.
All right, next up, we got a 2-pronger as well. Sydney buses rarely on time, and the line for buses at Wynyard Station being 1 kilometre long. I've empathized with the second one. I've seen that. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's like A to D, and you'd hope they're close, but not. D is like way in the distance, man. Like,
It's on the
holy
horizon.
shit.
So that's it for the listener ones. Do we have any personal ones that you guys wanted to discuss?
Bro, they covered everything there.
I was going to say,
There was a lot of driving and transport related.
Yeah.
which is my pet peeve about Sydney is that to survive in the city, you actually need a car. You can't rely on public transport, and everything is so far that you can't walk to it or whatnot. You need a car.
Yeah, and then the parking's impossible. And just the way that it's designed as a city is pretty bad. But it's still where we all live, I guess.
Still the best city in Sydney. in Australia.
My thing is like, there's no real, like, might be, even before the lockdowns, it wasn't like there was a crazy nightlife. And it's the biggest, or maybe Melbourne's a bit bigger now, but it's like, this is the biggest city in Australia, or at least, top two. Like, have some nightlife, man. Have some clubs. Have, there's not even like a district where it used to be King's Cross, but there's nowhere you go to. You just have to go to like Campbelltown. That's where you get the excitement. That's where the fireworks are. But there's no comedy in London. There's like 7 dedicated comedy clubs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's just much more of a comedy culture there. In Sydney, there's 1, and it's 3 nights a week.
Oh, it's not even every night.
No.
It's the Comedy Store, right?
Yeah.
That's in Moore Park as well. So it's not even in the city.
There's no demand because they would do it every night, but people just don't. A bit out of the way, maybe. But even then, it's just there's no. Forget just comedy. There's just no like in Burwood, the Chinatown stays open really late.
Yeah,
there's restaurants open really late. It's actually got a good vibe, but the city itself is just. I mean, aren't they trying to do something where like they're trying to make they change the names of some certain councils or some, like they changed Surrey Hills to like it's the lamest name ever. It was like the X Quarter or some shit like that.
No, I didn't see that.
No, I got to Google that. Hang on. There's some like name changes of Sydney.
Problem is like if someone, was in town from somewhere else and like, oh, what should we do on a Saturday night in Sydney? I have nothing to suggest to you.
Yeah.
In good conscience, I'm not going to be like, go to Ivy. No, bro. Don't go there. But what else is open? Fucking City Heroes. Like, dude, I've got nothing to offer you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, go to sleep, wake up and go for a run.
I got this for you. So this last year, Sydney's about to undergo a major revamp, which will see more attractions, precincts and areas completely renamed. So this was 20 suburbs set to receive a $200,000 cash injection, and 21 suburbs across 8 areas revamped. So some of the name changes. Yeah, King's Cross, soon to be known as KXQ.
Sorry?
No way.
So they're trying to, some fucking marketing idiot has been like, oh, we got to make it sound cool. And so instead of calling it King's Cross, they're going to call it KXQ. Darlinghurst will be coined the Rainbow Precinct.
No.
That's a bit on the nose.
Batuta article.
Yeah, I know. It's like, do you want homophobia? Like, come on, bro. Like, inner city suburbs include Chippendale, Pyrmont, and Ultimo will be revamped.
The fact that they're calling it precincts now, like, I think we're actually living in Blade Runner, dude. This is fucked.
Dude, yeah, like, is Sydney more of a fitness town? Like, it's more for, going to the beach, running, playing sport, going outside.
I think it's a morning, it's a early morning,
kinda,
go for a swim, go for a run, do fucking reformer Pilates, I don't know.
Totally. All right, here's some for you. Koreatown in Eastwood. So Eastwood's they're gonna call it Koreatown or something?
No, they've officially changed that.
Yeah. Oh, they've already done that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Harris Park is going to be rebranded as Little India.
Little India.
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. In Surrey Hills, they're going to have a place called the Hollywood Quarter.
Oh, that's just.
Wait, what does that even mean?
What's Hollywood about?
Are they trying to
Surrey
make
Hills?
it like LA-ish? That's just silly.
Trying to make it LA. So they're
Sunset
trying to
Boulevard or
just
something?
make, when tourists come, then I guess rather than if they're just looking at, Harris Park or whatever, they don't know that it's got a lot of Indian place. So then maybe they say, Little India, let's go there. And then Rainbow Precinct, I guess then you'd clearly know, like, all right, that's where if you want to experience, if you are gay or whatever, you go there. Yeah, that's where. But man, like KXQ.
Push tonight. Let's go KXQ.
But doesn't help.
I'm telling you to fuck off.
KXQ's still dead though. There's nothing there. Like, right, you can change the name, but there's still nothing to do there.
Exactly. What, you're gonna just like run into some junkies and then
Stare at the Coca-Cola sign for about a couple hours.
Yeah, what is that cash injection? It's just that marketer just going, yep, KXQ done.
Into my pocket.
This just comes across as, when those like people come to schools and they're like, we're gonna do a play about not doing drugs, but make it cool.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like that. It's like, we got to make some of these suburbs cool for the youth,
Objectively,
for the kids.
is Sydney boring?
I mean, yeah, I think
Kind of is, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, yeah, well, we, lived here whole lives, but it is boring. Like you said, Migs, someone says what to do Saturday at night. Man, I don't know. Like, strike bowling. Just go there, play laser tag, bro. I don't know.
Hornsby, Westfield. That's where you go.
Yeah, we'll see the fountain. The clock will rotate.
There's
It's
nothing.
not a going out city. It's a city where you live, and if you can get a house here, then you get an amazing life. And it's very chill, probably a very nice place to raise a family. But if you're young and want a vibrant city to go out, then
Go to
that's
Melbourne.
Not yeah, go to Melbourne.
All right, on that depressing note, we'll maybe leave that there. Alrighty, that brings us to an end of a bit of a weird episode. I thought it ended in a bit of a depressing note in the last segment, but that's all right. Massive thank you to Neel for coming on. Sorry for bringing your weekend down a bit there.
Oh, no, not at all, man. It's great.
I really appreciate you coming on in person. A lot of people don't want to make this trek out, but I really appreciate it. Did you want to maybe let the listeners know where they can find you?
Yeah, so just my name on all the various social medias, NeelKolhatkar.
Hope you have a pen nearby to write that down.
Yeah. NEEL, and it should come up. It should come up.
Yeah, nice.
The brown guy. So, and yeah, if you live in Sydney, we do shows, Comedy Untamed. You guys will come to a few of those. There's different comedians every week, and Thursday at KXQ. That's where it is, bro. That's where it is. So come to KXQ for a lit Thursday night. Maybe we can hit up the Rainbow Corner late, fam. But yeah, Comedy Untamed to check it out, comedy show. And then yeah, we do them in Melbourne and Brisbane as well. So if you live there, go. If you want to go to a comedy show, you can go there. Other than that, yeah, just socials and whatever. Follow me there.
You said you had your special coming out sometime this year.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably around April or May.
Perfect.
Sometime around midway through the year, and then I'll be doing another tour later in the year of all the Australian cities. I'll be hopefully doing London as well.
Ooh,
so that's pretty exciting.
Nice.
That's huge.
It's pretty much like 99% confirmed, but
Nice.
hopefully can confirm all that in the next month or two.
Yeah.
Excellent. And any other projects that we should look out for, or any exclusives you want to drop here?
You can subscribe to my OnlyFans, which is coming out soon. Just a lot of comedy this year, and want to try to do a tour every year again. It's because COVID was pretty disruptive, so just get back into a good routine. Make some short films again. You know, I used to make a lot of those, and want to kind of do those again. So just hopefully it'll be a very productive year with a lot of content.
Excellent. All right. Thanks for that. Also, you can find us at Critical Banter on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. Give us a follow, give us a 5-star rating as well, and we'll catch you guys next week.